Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. In the last episode, Ragna the Blood Edge fought a very grueling battle against Hakumen of the Six Heroes. But before the mysterious warrior could end his life, he was saved by a most unexpected individual, in the form of his former master Jubei, also of the Six Heroes, who actually managed to fend off Hakumen, of all people. At which point Hakumen disappeared through unknown means, and Jubei, in typical sensei fashion, berated Ragna for his headstrong nature, and also gave him a very cryptic warning, to say the least. At which point Ragna and Taokaka ended up having a rather humorous run and dash from the diner in Orient Town. But as you can see, we're back here at the crossroads between Ragna and Arakune. Now, the last time I had elected to actually finish him off instead of sparing him, but this time I'm not going to do that. This time we have more pressing concerns than dealing with Arakune.
You just spoiled the mood. To be honest, I really don't care what happens to that guy. Alright, suit yourself.
In other words, Ragna is perfectly willing to let bygones be bygones, and I'm sure that's fine with Litchi. I turn around and leave. I got better things to do than waste my time with the two of them. Indeed we do, because we have more pressing concerns with reaching our ultimate destination, which just so happens to be the cauldron where we fought Hakumen the last time. Now, I've made another save just in case, which is very important. By the time I reach the central levels, the sun's already long gone. The fog is as thick as hell. The moonlight doesn't even reach where I am. I can barely see my own feet. Although I ain't complaining, the night and the fog are actually pretty convenient. Everyone drops their guard at night. Everyone. And I really apologize for the rather sluggish text scroll there. The Kagutsuchi library branches right up ahead. I can almost smell the stink of it. If I trash this one too, I'll be that much closer to wrapping this whole thing up. Yeah, that is the reason that Ragna has been staging a one-man war against the NOL. It is basically to infiltrate their bases and destroy their cauldrons. It's not so much what the cauldrons represent, it's more what is contained within, and that is all the foreshadowing I'm going to give you at this juncture, adventurers. But I will say that what is contained within the cauldron here in Kagutsuchi is of great importance, especially to Ragna.
Now that I think about it, how many branches have I destroyed? Then again, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna destroy them all anyway.
Seems like Ragna has made this his own personal vendetta. I don't know if it was the moon or what, but it got real bright there for a second.
Was the moon always this bright?
Probably not always, although tonight, on this night, it's fairly bright indeed, and it's also much larger than any moon has any right to be. Although the stars surrounding it are pretty interesting. The moonlight reminds me of the church in the old neighborhood. The moon was always real bright there. Probably not a good idea to walk down memory lane there, Ragna, especially at this juncture.
That reminds me. He always used to say how he was scared of the moon. He'd always come to me saying, the moon's gonna fall, or something like that.
There is only one he that I can infer in this context. Ragna's erstwhile brother Jin. which we have actually seen neither hide nor hear of at this point. In my memories, I can hear them calling me.
Brother.
Brother.
God damn it. Why do I keep thinking about that?
Probably out of sentimentality there, Ragna. For those were the voices of Jin and Sire, Ragna's siblings. And come to think of it, we actually know even less about Sire's current whereabouts. The only thing that we do know for certain is that when last we saw them, they were in the clutches of whoever it was who destroyed the church and murdered the people within. Gah, screw this. I kick a rock as hard as I can and it skitters across the ground. I'm so busy thinking about my past, I almost run into the damn door. It's a big steel piece of shit, and it looks like they put some sort of Armigus seal on it too. Now, another bit of history lesson concerning the Novus Orbis Librarium is the fact that they don't just have grimoires at their disposal. They, well, let me put it this way. During the Dark War in which Hakumen, Jubei, and their companions fought valiantly against the Black Beast, during that time period, the Six Heroes actually developed a rather unique form of magic, well, pseudo-magic in this case, known by its full name as Ars Armigus. Now, essentially, concept-wise, Ars Armigus is kind of reminiscent of what Dust is from Rooster Teeth's Ruby series. It's, again, as I say, it's more pseudo-magic. Basically abilities that kind of have the properties of magic per se, but Ars Armigus is not just usable by mages per se. Yes, there are mages in the world of BlazBlue as well, along with vampires, ghosts, and all sorts of other things. But Ars Armigus was a means by which the Six Heroes allowed humanity to fight against the Black Beast and ultimately emerge victorious. Unfortunately, following the end of the Dark War, the NOL rose to power and they pretty much had a monopoly on Ars Armigus, which is, along with the collection of grimoires at their disposal in their arsenal, made them pretty influential indeed. The Rs they put on these things could turn a guy into a pulp in a matter of seconds. This one's no different, and as that symbol there on the door, as well as the pillars either side of the door, is essentially what could be described as the insignia of the NOL.
Damn, that was close.
Takes my right hand and me a couple of seconds to pump out our own unlocking Rs. Alright, maybe unlocking isn't quite accurate. It's a little more like kicking down. Although, it would actually be impressive if Ragna could actually kick down a giant steel door. Then again, with his abilities, he probably could, or at the very least, break it down with his sword.
Huh? There's no...
But it seems like, something is amiss here. Something doesn't feel right. But hell, does it ever? I put both hands on the door and shove. It swings open easily enough. Damn, it's dark in here. I can barely see. Well, contrary to Ragna's expectations, it seems like the NOL haven't put a warding Ars Armigus on the door.
That's strange.
Which is truly ominous indeed. Okay, something's up. I should have run into a couple of groups of soldiers by now.
Hello! Mr. Grim Reaper is here! I've come to invite all you guys to the underworld. Excuse me! Pizza delivery here!
I would actually not be all that surprised if the inner world soldiers actually did buy Ragna's second excuse here. Yeah, it would be pretty hilarious if they all actually believed that Ragna was the pizza man.
Well, it doesn't look like a trap. What the hell's going on?
But something ominous is definitely afoot. I tighten my grip on my sword and keep moving. There's another huge set of doors in front of me, but these are open a crack, and a sliver of light spills out from between them. And we appear to be in some sort of chamber here with NOL banners hanging from the ceiling.
Well, I guess it's not too different from the other branches.
Well, considering the fact that the NOL are basically lacking in variety when it comes to hierarchical cities, that's probably not much of a surprise there. Is there someone there? For some reason my heart's beating a mile a goddamn minute. I put my hand on the door. And then for a brief moment we had a chilling flashback to something that we are already familiar with all too well. I throw the door open with a yell, swinging my sword in a wide arc as I leap into the room. My sword stops short, and I can see it resting on the thin blade of a katana. The person on the other side of the katana lets out a laugh that sends a shiver down my spine.
Is that how you greet people? Boy, you never change, do you?
It has been quite some time.
Jin! Why the hell are you here?
That is a very good question. Although, I think the answer actually has to do with the uniform that Jin is wearing. You can't really see it too well in this at this image, but believe it or not, a lot has happened with Jin since the tragedy of yesteryear. In fact, believe it or not, Ragna, your little brother has grown up to become a superior officer in the NOL itself.
Why? I thought that was obvious. I came to see you, Ragna.
It seems like old habits truly do die hard.
You were waiting for me?
Mm-hmm. Still, I am pretty amazed. You have the highest bounty on record. The NOL practically rules the world, and they're still afraid of you, the Reaper.
I take it you're considering cashing in on the bounty. No. Given everything we know that so far between Ragna and Jin, I would definitely say that that couldn't be the truth.
Ask anyone on the street, and they'll know the name. Ragna the Blood Edge.
I could care less about that.
But that's strange, brother. I didn't think you had the aptitude to use Armagus. Or does it have something to do with that Azure Grimoire?
So it seems that the NOLs have more intel on the Azure Grimoire than we previously thought. That doesn't bode well.
Shut up. I've got a ton of questions for you. But I think I'll beat the answers out of you instead.
I love it! This is great! What a reunion, eh, brother?
Jin, you bastard.
Give it your best shot. I'll be happy to kill you again.
Just like old times, Ragna the Blood Edge and Jin Kisuragi picking up right where they left off.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel, 1, action!
And before Jin hops away speedily, I'm actually going to have a look at his moveset, which is very crucial, especially in this battle. And the stage theme for this episode is Under Heaven Destruction, the theme that plays whenever Ragna and Jin duel each other to the death, and it is going to be a duel to the death indeed. Now, Jin's drive attack is Frostbite, an attack that freezes the opponent. Because, believe it or not, Jin's entire moveset consists entirely of ice, which is going to be incredibly annoying for us. Next we have Ice Blade, which launches an ice projectile, which is, yeah, the fact that he can do ranged ice attacks is definitely going to get on my nerves. Blizzard, an anti-air attack that strikes diagonally forward. Yeah, he, in addition to using frost powers, Jin's katana is incredibly unique. Next he has Violent Ice, an anti-air attack that strikes directly above. Crystal Strike, forward lunging attack. Snowflower Storm, in which he continually strikes with said katana. And it is this move that has rendered Jin and the arcade fighting game community to be what has been termed a scrub player character, because you can just use Flower Storm and basically just continually lock out your opponent. Flying Ice Strike, which is another ice projectile which will freeze you, which is really annoying. Dual Ice Strike, a wide range anti-air attack as well. Both of these use 25% of the heat gauge, as well as Freezing Crystal Strike, which is an even more powerful attack. Distortion drives for Jin are Ice Fang, which is a ice shockwave, and Moonsong, which basically sends frozen arrows diagonally up at Ragna, which is very annoying. Now, hopefully we can deal with Jin before he becomes too much of a problem, because that katana and his frost powers are going to be incredibly bullshit. Get a Hell's Fang out of the way. Oh, don't you do that. Definitely don't want you using your distortion drives as well, Jin. Replenish some health while I'm at it. And, oh, there's that katana. And you blocked me. Nope. Oh, and there's the projectile. Oh, and I got frozen. Which is, no. Ah, get out of town with that bullshit. Don't get hit. Oh, come on. You're too nimble for your own good. Get over here.
You're cruel, brother. Seriously?
Get over here. Let me show you some of my swordsmanship. Get back here.
Seriously?
Nope.
Don't
And
let your guard down.
yeah, definitely. Oh god. Ah, come on.
Here. Slow.
Ah, don't you dare. Oh, and that was a mistake. But fortunately we were able to deal with Jin. Victory to us.
What's the matter, brother? You're not gonna finish me off?
There's really no point or meaning in doing so, Major Jin Kisaragi.
Like I said, I need answers. Besides, I'm not here for you anyway. If you want to die on your own, then be my guest.
Very well said.
Soft. You're too soft, brother. That's why you can't protect anything. Or anyone.
And it's good night for you, Jin. Lights out.
Shut up and stay down. Oh, and watch out, or the moon might fall.
That line, it never fails to elect a smile or laugh from me. Unfortunately, Jin's words seem to stick in Ragna's gut, and he does have a point.
Shit, I'm a goddamn idiot! Why the hell am I so soft with him?
But we already knocked him out, so that has to be something. Pain shoots through my hand, but I hear a loud noise echo off the cold walls, and the pain in my hand doesn't feel so bad anymore. And it's time to save again, as we move through the librarian
All these branches
branch.
look the same. I feel like I've been here before.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting a rather curious sense of deja vu. Almost like we've come here once already. But well, we actually made it to the room with the cauldron. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to end the episode here for the time being. And when we return, hopefully this time Ragna will be successful in completing that which she has set out to do from the very beginning. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.